The main goal of classroom management is to change student behavior. Now, I'm kind of old school, and I kind of grew up around the term, and I like the term classroom management. I like it, right? Kind of it fits everything I'm talking about. But I have heard recently another person talk about classroom management, but they call it classroom leadership. I'm like, I like that one. I like that one a lot. But regardless of what you want to use, classroom management, class leadership, it's the same thing. The goal is to change student behavior. But to do that, you got to understand that not all strategies are built equal. There are some that are going to give you bigger bang for your buck than others. And you got to know when to use them and how to implement those in your classroom. And which ones you want to start with first and build upon. I heard a speaker here recently talk about his 10-80-10 rule. And when I was listening, I go, oh my gosh, that is my philosophy in my classroom. That is my goal. So he describes it this way. He says, you got 10 students that are always going to kind of do, well, he didn't say students, but you get the idea. There's 10 students that are always going to do what they're not supposed to do. You got 80% of the students that are kind of going to follow the herd one way or the other. And you got 10% of the students that are always going to do what they need to do. And he says, what you got to do is you got to focus on that higher end, that 10, that 80, around there. And once your classroom manager plays, what you see is that 80% of students will start moving towards the area you want them to, which is the better spectrum. And then the 10% that are left over, they have a decision to make. About half of them will start following the herd as well. And before you know it, you got 95% of the classroom where you want it to be at. And you got about 5% of your students that, as always, there's going to be this 5% that you're going to have to deal with a different way. But I said, that is my classroom. My goal is to move that big bulk of students into the better direction. And you do that by having solid classroom management, classroom leadership skills in your classroom. So one of the goals of this program is to help you get those skills needed, those strategies in place, so that you can quickly move that class, that percentage of students, to the higher end where you want them to be at.